from the get-go, you can see you can choose any of the Ghostbusters, which is pretty neat. You got Lewis, Winston, Egon, Ray, and Peter. Well, always been a big fan of Peter, so Mr. Venkman's a good pick. Yeah, Ray's alright, but I always thought that the banter between Egon and Peter was the most entertaining, so I don't know if that's the kind of chemistry that we're looking for when playing a game like this, but hey, that's the route I'm going to take tonight, I think. Egon and Peter sounds like a good fit. But yeah, oh, okay, let's start getting used to the controls. It's pretty much a straightforward game of just busting some ghosts, which should have been a lot of Ghostbuster games at the time, instead of the complicated messes that we got. But you pretty much hold A to shoot your beam, and then B to trap them. I do know that this game got released on the Game Boy, so we did get a variation of this eventually. But, it's not the exact same, setup, so to speak. Okay, I don't know. What do we do with these, like... There we go. Each one of these bubbles I gotta catch? Great. But now what we got as a Ghostbuster 2 game is significantly different from this one. There we go. Okay, to the left, but there's no door there. Very interesting. Yeah, it looks like something would happen down this hall. But I think the premise of this is pretty straightforward. I mean, you can pause, and it'll show you your score and your lives. Oh, man. But I think all you gotta do is just clear every level of ghosts. That's about it. Nice and straightforward. Boom. Yeah, it's kind of weird at first, but then you get used to it. Uh-oh. That's something serious going on in the bathtub. It's a nod to the first one with the... Or, that's a nod to the one with the ooze in the bathtub, I'm assuming. It says right, but I'm assuming you can go back right. Alright. So, what's you guys' favorite Ghostbuster game out there? I mean, the original... Oh, that's cheap. I got hit by Slimer throwing something at me. I mean, it's definitely not the original NES one for me. That one me and Eric shelved, and that was a nightmare of a game, to say the least. And then, the sequel that we got in the US... I want to say I remember renting that one. We rented it, and yeah, I think I played it very briefly the night I rented it, and just probably, you know, I was pretty upset that I ended up renting that game. It's like a terrible... I don't even know how to put it. Just a terrible side-scroller. But this game's got, controls aren't too bad. It's a little hokey, waiting on the second character to catch up with you. But not too rough. Ah, there's something hiding. So that's probably my first complaint about this, because I'm hitting start. I'm not seeing a map or nothing. Or like you should have a PKA meter to like tell you which rooms still have ghosts or something. I mean, you literally just gotta keep going room to room until everything's cleared, I think. That's all you get to work with. Hey, what's going on, Cool D? Glad to see you joining us tonight. I do agree that At that time, it did look more like a sink than a bathtub. See, now this is kind of neat because this is, the Scolari brothers, which I believe were in the first Ghostbuster game, not the second one. But it's still kind of funny how they have it lined up. I mean, to fight a boss, I think you just gotta, like, hold them and keep hitting them with a trap. So it's kind of interesting. And we already got a round cleared, guys. Hey, Charlie, glad to see you could join us. Yeah, I don't think the Wii U is going to get much more love anymore. You have the new Nintendo Switch coming out soon. Yeah, I'm excited for the Nintendo Switch. I'm just worried about the price point of the unit, you know what I mean? It looks pretty promising, but the price is what it boils down for me. I don't know if I'll have... Really don't have the budget for games like I used to back in the day. So that's why I just pretty much prefer to enjoy playing all my good retro stuff that I own. Investing in a whole new console is not very common in my household anymore. And plus, it's so hard when you got so many great older games that you still want to play and enjoy. You know, nowadays almost feels like you gotta wait for a good version. They keep upgrading the consoles and improving them, and it's like, why get the launch console, which is probably going to be the crummy model anyway. But when it comes to the main console, it seems like those are fine if you get the launch one. Like your launch original NES, the top loader is good, even, I mean, not the top loader, I mean the front loader. It's still a good unit to have. They did come out with a top loader that is better, but still, it's still a good unit to have. The Super Nintendo, I mean, an original Super Nintendo is still fine to have, even though they had a mini, so I guess the space is a big difference of that one. They do argue that I believe the RGB is better on the mini. And then the N64, I think it was just aesthetics. Like you could get them in different colors or something. That's what happened with that one. So I don't know. Actually, the original model is the better one to have because it had that video port on it that you could use for component cables. With they basically took that off on later models of the GameCube, so that's another situation where you'd want the launch model. But when you look at other units, though, I mean, you have Xbox, where the original models were never really a good history to get the original model. And even with the 360, the original model didn't have HDMI and had the red ring of death a lot. Microsoft way to go. Sony, on the other hand, is a little bit different. I mean, the original model PS3 is arguably the best model to have, so that'd be a good one to have the launch model. And the PS2 launch model, I don't know if that one is arguable to be good or not. I don't know enough about the hardware on that one. I will say I do prefer the PS2 Slim, just because of the compact factor of it and everything. But I don't think the Slim supports as many things as the original PS2 model. Or something. I know there's a network jack on it, so it isn't the networking factor. Maybe the hard drive factor or something on the Slim. It's always something. Oh, the Switch is, you're guessing $300 at launch? Yeah, that's a good guessing price point. I could see $300. You know, I'd obviously be hoping for 250, but it's more than likely probably going to be like 299. Great. I don't remember them being on an actual train in Ghostbusters 2. I remember they were going down an old railroad, but I guess maybe we're on the ghost train. Maybe that's the way of being on a real train, though. Yeah, the original Sega Saturn. Sega's a good example, actually, that it's kind of reverse. Sega was always one that would be better to wow. Sega is one to, it's actually better to get the original model for when I think like the original Master System. That's the best model to have because it's got like all the adapters and connections on it and supports RGB. Then you got the original Sega Genesis, which is the best model because it doesn't have like that, you know, privacy screen that pops up, and it actually says, you know, high definition on the front of it and stuff on the top label. Coolest looking. I really like the aesthetics of the original Sega Genesis. I think the original Sega Genesis is arguably one of the best looking retro consoles. I mean, the aesthetics of it is just awesome how they did that system. Well, you guys bring up a good point when you said Sega Saturn is another one where I think you want the original model because I think they cheaped out a bit on the revision of it. But from what I understand, both models are pretty much the same. It's just a few aesthetic changes. Yeah, I don't know if I'm ever gonna when I'm gonna be streaming Guardian Legend on the NES. I mean, I gotta really be kind of warmed up or in the zone for a game like that. That's a pretty intense game for me. But it is always possible. I mean, the problem is with me, you know, after work you get home, you're already pretty wiped out. Such an intense game. But some days I got some extra. I might pick it on one of those days. Just like I picked this game, it's kind of, it's still, Halloween was yesterday, so I mean, still in some good Halloween kickback Ghostbuster mode. And it seemed like a nice casual play. Have any of you guys beaten this game, though? I mean, this is actually my first time sitting and playing through it. I mean, I've played maybe the first level before in the past just to get a taste of the game, but I've never really sat and grinded through the whole thing. Oh, great. This guy looks like he's got a lot of tricky business to him. Okay, thought he was like a boss. Oh, man. Get this tricky nonsense now. There we go. Just follow the arrow. Pretty straightforward. So what system do you guys think is the best looking retro system out there? Like I said, I'd probably have to give number one to the Sega Genesis. And when I say retro, I pretty much say, you know, 16-bit and lower, maybe 32-bit and lower if you want to stretch it, but and then in a reverse aspect, you could almost think, what's the worst looking consoles? Great, you get two of these guys. Yeah, these ghost ninjas are not fun. Ah, walked in that one. Yeah, the original 2600 model, I think they call it the Heavy Sixer, and it actually has the switches. It's a lot larger, it's heavier duty. I think it's actually like real wood on the model, I don't know. I got the Vader deck for my Atari 2600. We still have yet to do an Atari 2600 game on the channel. Just hasn't been a high priority because I grew up playing the Intellivision as my earliest console, not so much Atari. I can't remember if Eric even played Atari or not. NES is really where our bread and butter is for back in the day. I mean, NES, Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo. Those were all played pretty hardcore. I got a Famicom console. We did it for the... And I also have the FDS, the disk drive for it. That's how we did that Verse Excite Bike video a long time ago. That was like last year. That was a fun video. I like playing that Verse Excite Bike. That is way better than regular Excite Bike. I mean, is this whole game just indoors in this building? Oh. That trap can hold. Yeah, you know what? I've never played consoles. That's pretty neat. They got an Odyssey 2, at least, to try out. Yeah, the oldest consoles I've ever really I've ever owned is pretty much in television and Atari 2600. I mean, when you get into the Odysseys and, you know, I'm sure we had a Pong console at one point in time a long time ago, but I don't know, that's getting a little bit too old for me, those types of consoles. I can understand and respect the charm of them, but nothing I could really get hardcore into. I could probably see me getting into a handful of 2600 games pretty hardcore. Yes, or better pretty much for me. Yeah, some of these characters I just don't remember from the movie. Does anybody remember any of these characters? I gotta say, what's really missing is a map in this game. I will say on the bright side, we do have a good new game night posting this Friday, so you guys will definitely enjoy that one. It is an out of the ordinary one, to say the least. Been trying to get some work done on another top 10 episode time, to say the least. Still gotta capture all the footage of all the games, and it gets there. You guys will have to let me know, kind of in your own opinion, which do you guys prefer? A mixture of like random episodes and game nights, or more of one or the other? What the heck is this? I guess they're trying to stay consistent with the story. Got to see the baby carriage go away. A lot of ooze. That's a good idea. How would you do that? Would you do that per count? Would you do that? You gotta have. I mean, you gotta look at 90s of a certain console. Tricky as hell. More than welcome to. Guess I go back and kill those things now. Yeah, the bag of money. I think we need that. Dang it. We're getting there. The Cubs. Interesting, no matter what happens, say the least. Seems like both those teams work pretty hard. Ugh. Yeah. By a decade or an era. Yeah, that'd be interesting. I'd have to really narrow down some, at least Egon's lost. Here, Egon. There we go. I'm not on baseball. Is there a reason that I've like never? I'm sure it's been a long time. Just this ball. Oh, worst boss ever. I don't even know what was the catch with that one. Well, disc golf, I might be able to do some more videos next year, but the season for disc golf is pretty much over this year. And everything. I'm not one of those hardcore disc golfers that are out playing the sport in the winter. You know what I mean? People can do it, but no, maybe in the spring if I get a good opportunity and have my headset on me. I'll probably hit up another park in the area and do a video for you. It's a great sport, though. I really enjoy. It's a fun one that you can play casually or professionally, however you want to do it, and I think it's an excellent casual sport that is easy for anybody to play, but extremely difficult for anybody to master. So it's a good balance, in my opinion, of however you want to enjoy it. Ah. Yeah, but if you like those disc golf videos, you're going to have to hook me up and share those, because that part of the channel kind of went dormant just because of the pretty much the demand. I try to just post videos that actually have decent retention and views, and since those weren't doing so well, I just concentrated a little bit more on the video game aspect, which is fine by me, because I enjoy playing the do stuff to do it. I try to find the fine line of enjoying whatever I'm playing or doing and sharing it on the channel. I'm not really a big fan of doing something just because I think it'll do well on the channel. If it's something that I was originally going to be doing anyway, it's like, why not? Now, I will admit I might do it a little bit different than I'd normally do if I wasn't doing it for the channel, but I'd still be doing it regardless. I think this would have been a lot. My biggest complaints with this is probably a better map system, other than this arrow, but I guess it's doing enough. And my other request would be is if it could be two players co-op, so then the second player got controlling the trap instead of the egg too hot. Alright. Boom. Wow, that's crazy that you used one disc for all those situations, because you must have really mastered that disc. Was that a putter or a driver? I would assume a driver, because that'd be pretty hard to be driving with a putter. But no, some people do that. I mean, really, if you're pretty good at the sport, you can get away with pretty much a good driver and a good putter in most situations. I have so many discs just because I was kind of doing some studying on the sport for myself. If you had a watch, then you could always just throw the disc designed to go on a certain flight path, whereas people that are really good at the sport can easily take any disc and just manipulate it the way they need it to. Which I'm not saying, it was mine to have a variety of discs to work off of for that. Whoa. It's all about the chainsaw, guys. I'm assuming we're at the museum because it's got like the, ropes. Ah. Yeah, I know the U.S. does have some really cool parks. There's even way better parks than I've got in my videos. You gotta really check it out. There's parks. I'd love to kind of go to different states out in the United States. Like in California's got some real killer ones, and Florida on the coast have got some really nice ones. It all depends what your flavor is. I mean, luckily most of my favorite types are the wooded courses where you're basically going on a wooded hike and doing that stuff with like a lot of elevation and trees as obstacles. Makes it pretty interesting. I guess another fault of this game is it's just a little tedious. I mean, it was kind of fun in the first couple levels, but I mean, there's not a large variety in enemies here. I'm not saying it's bad, it's just like, kind of like over it already. I didn't really pay attention to see how many levels were in this game. Whoa. They're definitely revisiting all the other enemies from previous levels. Seen pretty much all of them except for like the minor ones. That looks kind of official now. Now what? Watch out. Be nice if Egon would actually line up and do something. Good job, Egon. Just keep lining up the wrong way. Great. Egon's gonna blow it. I can't even tell what's hitting him or hurting him, if anything. Probably not in that spot. Try something else. Well, I can't have him standing on top of me. Oh. These things. And I'm guessing there's multiple of these. So it's pretty much every time I shoot, he's going to shoot something out at me. That's going to be the catch, huh? Damn you, Janosch. Where's Vigo? He's just a painting I could be shooting at and probably take him out. Hardest part is getting Egon to line up, you dope. Damn you, Egon. Hey, Ryu. Glad to see you could join the stream, buddy. Anybody get the new Duke Nukem yet? Wow. Dang it. Okay, I'm just gonna stand like right here while Egon's kind of... Nah, it's not good enough because you can't get hit neither. Dang, dodging this stuff is no picnic. Okay, maybe I'm supposed to hold one in a spot and then just keep on break dancing somehow, but then Egon stops hitting him. Whoa, I don't know how we're beating this guy. Just not seeing it happening, guys. I got one of them, but then they just grew back. Okay, I think that's the forth in hopes that I'll just be able to take them out somehow. Nothing's working in our favor here. Dang it. Yeah, this is just painful. And I only got him like twice, so I mean... Okay, you got a week in a get. So I couldn't tell with the other bosses. It's like you got to keep zapping them. You got to keep hitting them with the trap. Because other bosses, I've had to hit them multiple times with the trap. I get it. Because I was trying to just hit them with the Egon. And that's all you got to do is just keep holding it. Dang it. Nice. Shadow Warrior 2. You're all over, Ryu. You're always beating something. Alright. This is going to go on forever, because that's the theme I'm seeing here. Tell me, somebody's going to have to tell me the trick of how to beat this. Dang it. Oh. I don't know. That's pretty punishing. Am I supposed to be paying attention that maybe one of these are a certain one that need to be caught? Okay, how come that time it like stayed? Was there something I did, or I just killed enough of them? Dang it. It's Janosch. Slime him. Well, I'm sure there's weirder things you could be doing. Is there another boss now? Do we take on Vigo because Janosch is done? What do you got to do with Vigo? Oh. The painting's coming out. Egon, do something. What am I supposed to do with this guy? Now is another situation that's like, do I just gotta beat on him? And getting to a certain point to hit him with the trap. I don't get it, because Vigo means business. I mean, is that even hurting him? That's probably my biggest complaint with this game is being able to tell what hurts these bosses and what doesn't. Come on, you gotta do something. Because I'm not seeing it. You can keep hitting them. I don't know what good that's all going to do with us. But nothing really crucially happened. And I can't shoot and hit those things that are glowing. I don't understand what happened. Anybody know what happened? I just hit him enough? Alright. Whatever that's all about. The staff is the Statue of Liberty, apparently. Yeah, that wasn't too long of a game, was it? Yeah, not a bad Ghostbuster game. I mean, especially compared to all the Ghostbuster games that were released around this time. This one's significantly better, to say the least, but I don't know. It's definitely one of the more playable ones, to say the least. But a little more repetitious than I care for. I mean, I'm glad I got it done and under my belt. But I really don't see much coming back to this one anytime soon. It just didn't have that I want to come back to this factor to it anytime soon. But that's basically new Ghostbusters 2. Nice little gem by Hal. Who's had their fair share of making some pretty nice games. And there's our wrapped up ending. But all I can really say, guys, is thanks again for joining me tonight. Always like the conversation, the topics that come up and around. And I hope to see you guys next week. Probably pick a different gem and get it knocked out again. If you guys have any suggestions, be sure to tell me on the channel and let me know about them. Till then, I'll talk to you guys next time. Take it easy.